Welcome to The Farewell. Made in 2019 by Lulu Wang, a cinematic masterpiece where we will dive into the complex themes of identity and cultural values, religious belief systems, and globalization that are seen in this film, presented by Luke Wenger, Kevin Bash, Jack Saucy, Yuvia Rodriguez, and Uriel Porras. The Farewell, based on a true story, is a film about a family that finds out that their beloved family member, the grandmother, called Nai Nai, of the protagonist, called Billy, has stage 4 cancer, and they set out to spend as much time with Nai Nai, so they disguise it as a wedding of another family member, Billy's cousin. While hiding the secret, they all deal quietly with the situation of the grandmother. While the film is about a family, the film has more themes than meets the eye.
Much of The Farewell is devoted to a difference in identity and cultural values between Billy and her family. For instance, Billy identifies as Chinese American, while her family, even Uncle Haiyan, will always view themselves as Chinese, no matter where they live or what citizenship they hold. They have a more Chinese worldview rooted in Confucianist and Taoist tradition. This rift in identity between Billy and her family can be seen through several cultural dimensions throughout the film. Billy, for instance, individually experiences extreme guilt in keeping Nai Nai's diagnosis a secret, while her family sees it as their collective responsibility to Nai Nai. This is simply conflict caused by different cultural values. Because Billy is more accustomed to the equality found within her immediate American family, more conflict arises from the hierarchical nature of Confucianist family structure. For instance, when Billy asks her father not to smoke because it's bad for his health, she is seen as out of line by her Uncle Haiyan in lines with traditional Confucianist tradition. One more example of cultural values causing conflicts between Billy and her family are the ideas of quality of life versus achievement and success. Billy is an aspiring artist who is yet to have much in terms of financial success, though she's happy, and that's what matters to her. Most of Billy's family, however, are more concerned with financial and status-based achievement. This can be seen over dinner when her aunt and uncle both tease at Billy's lack of success and reassure her parents that it will inevitably come, as she will become a great writer. Another example is when every time she meets somebody, they ask about her relationship status, when she's going to get married, when she's going to find a guy, and they just see marriage as a sign of status. But Billy either chooses to keep this part of her life private or does not necessarily want or care to get married, and therefore is not really looking for anybody.
Another religion which is present within the movie is Taoism, which can be seen with the Tai Chi exercises that Nai Nai is teaching Billy, which he says will help reduce stress and help blood flow. This can be something that's seen as going with the flow, which is a prominent idea within Taoism. And we can see this at the end as Billy decides to go with the flow in her life in New York as she does similar movements and noises. There are many religious belief systems that can be seen within the movie The Farewell. For example, one being Confucianism, which is seen with the many relationships that are shown which follow the Confucianist set of roles. For example, everyone feels the need to take care of Nai Nai now that she's older, and they also feel the need to give her respect. Billy's parents often ask her if she needs help and try to offer advice and support, and Nai Nai feels the need to take care of her husband and stay with him despite her husband being less able to help out. Finally, one of the last religious belief systems we can see in this movie is Buddhism. We can see this in the scene in which they visit someone's grave and they burn incense and ask for guidance. In this scene, Nai Nai is able to show compassion to everyone around her as she prays for their success. Within the movie, there is also the idea of how life is not about what you do, but about how you do it. This is seen with Nai Nai's advice to Billy on life, and about how Billy is struggling to find her own success and what she wants to do with her life. And the most prominent idea is learning to face situations that might cause grief and moving forward. And this is seen in how everybody slowly is able to accept Nai Nai's condition and are able to move forward with their own lives as they leave to their own countries.
I have broken the idea of globalization down into three subcategories: cultural, technological, and economic globalization. Starting with cultural globalization, China is very open to spreading their music, fashion, and art. China's cultural aspects are found all throughout the film, with examples to include food ate at the dinners, Nai Nai's Tai Chi she practices, and many others. All these cultural customs and traditions are spread through the migration of people. Billy's family, along with her cousin, currently reside in the United States, and therefore their traditions are spread. However, one of the biggest themes of the film is the Chinese versus American philosophy. This is contrasted well through Billy's character and the rest of her family. Billy has grown up in the United States, so she is heavily influenced by American customs and ideas. One of the main conflicts brought up in the film is the idea of suppressing the American traits. This is seen through the use of language. English is rarely spoken in family settings. The choice of food, traditional Chinese alcohol is chosen over champagne, and of course, the idea of family first over one's individual desires. Economic globalization is seen throughout the film. The main reason Billy's family moves to the United States is for better economic opportunities. However, this is contrasted in the film when they talk about how easy it is to make $1 million in China. Also, the family supports Nai Nai through remittances, which is commonplace among migrant families. Lastly, technological globalization is put on display within the film. The frequent phone calls that are seen between Nai Nai and Billy are a great example of technology influenced the act of globalization. Thank you for listening.